Hello there. Welcome back to the Wasabi page. Today, let's talk about a very interesting topic. Why do artisans bail on the job? One of the most difficult tasks that we usually have to engage in Wasabi is going to complete a work that had already been started by another worker, and the worker left the job undone. Okay, so before we go ahead and talk about this in details, let us make it very clear. It's a very unprofessional conduct by workers who bail on the job, no matter the circumstances. Okay, so having said that, let's get back to the topic. The number one reason why artisans abandon jobs, from our experience, is that there is no specific and clear-cut job scope as against the price that have been agreed for this job. Okay, so let me give an example of this, all right? So a project manager wants to install 45 ACs, okay? He brings in a technician, the technician goes around. He sees that these ACs are conduits, right? Conduits are when pipes are being, pre-run in the walls of the building, all right? So he wants to install 45 ACs. He gives a quote for installation of 45 ACs for a conduit piping. Okay? All right. So the artisan starts midway through the job. All right. The technician discovers that probably some pipes that were run through the wall were badly run. Okay. Or maybe the drainage pipe, there's an issue with the drainage pipe. All right. Or even some conduits are not even good at all and he wants to run surface. Then he goes back to the project manager and says, okay, this is what I have now found and I would like to revise this quote. And then the project manager says no, because you have already quoted for installation of an AC. This is also an inclusive, it's also inclusive of installation of AC, and they fail to reach an agreement. Okay. Now, and then the worker bails on the job, probably because he has already collected up front, and then he leaves the job, midway. Now, we have to put it here. It is actually the fault of the worker not to have explained all what if scenarios to the project manager. You are the technician, you are the experienced person, you are the professional. You are supposed to explain what if scenarios to the project manager or the owner of the building. So what if scenario are, okay, this is my quotation, but this is conduit piping, this is what we might meet there. If this is the case, this is the amount we might have to charge on, So the project scope is already been clearly spelled out and is already been defined, and all alternatives are being put in place. The number two reason, unprofessionalism and dishonesty on the part of the worker. All right, so let me give you an example of this, right? So again, a project manager has a plumbing job, okay? A plumber comes in, he submits a quotation for materials and his workmanship, all right? The project manager, okay, so before the project manager says anything, the plumber tells the project manager, you have to pay 75 upfront for this job to commence. The project manager doesn't have a problem with that. He sends 45 or 75% upfront to the plumber to commence the job, all right? Plumber, inclusive in this quotation, there is prices of materials and there's workmanship, right? So the plumber goes to the market, gets the supposed materials, starts the job. Midway, the project manager comes back and says, okay, please, I want accountability for the materials that you bought. Can you please show them to me? And the plumber is unable to show, give account for the materials that he or she has quoted as against what he has fixed. A disagreement ensues and then the plumber bails on the job. Please. So the number one thing that we always tell our workers when they go to start a job, especially when they have to buy materials, once you get the materials, first show the receipt that you use to buy the materials to the owner of the project. Secondly, if the owner of the project is not around, do a video of every single item that you have bought that matches everything that is on paper. Another reason is sometimes clients just refuse to pay for the job. And trust me, this happens sometimes. All right. So let me give you an example. So a client and the worker agree that, all right, I'll be paying per milestones. Okay. Especially when it's a big project. Okay. So first milestone, the client probably pays release funds and then the worker starts the job. Okay. He gets to the next milestone when the client is supposed to release the next fund. Client refuses to pay. All right. So sometimes some workers, they'll be like, okay, let me even continue to the next milestone again. Then it gets to the next milestone again, and the client still refuses to pay. And then, he leaves the job undone or halfway. I mean, we have to be very factual here. This is a problem from clients, and we always advise clients to please hold on to their words and pay for project. Let me know if you have other reasons why artisans usually leave jobs undone or halfway or midway. Please comment down below to let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. All of these things that we're doing is to pass knowledge of, to interact on why the problems that comes between, artisan, how we can actually make it better, even on our own platform and, in various households and offices. Thank you.